I'm just out here chilling. You know what I mean? Got down right across from over here in this area right here. You know what I mean? Got down. Hey, look, it's a busy day right now. I mean, for anybody else other than me, waiting for that federal check to hit this debit card, this Mastercard. I mean, go ahead and get me a whole pizza. I'm gonna crush this pizza. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go and see my wives or whatever, and I mean, put everything, my wardrobe back together. You know what I mean, cause they saying that I'm scaring them over here, whatever. Fuck all that other stuff they talking. You know what I mean? Like they talking and they all the way over there. I ask a guy to stay the hell away from me. You know what I mean, stay away from me because y'all lies. You know what I mean, y'all walking around with your boo pops. You know what I mean, or your boo parts, and y'all with these guys around here, and these guys be in your ear. And I'm thinking to myself, like, is your homeboy straight? Is he bisexual? What is he? You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what I mean, before all the glamour and glitz and anything, that person was walking around, you know what I mean, with a t-shirt tucked in and you know what I mean, they you know what I mean, it was tucked in like that or whatever for anybody who ever did that. You know what I mean? And they was taking back shots. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, as an adult, you taking back shots, and then you go from experiment to, you know what I mean, anything else, your whole transformation. That anybody, this ain't about you. It's about the guys you with. But then it's about the people who actually are the guys that's with them that become into, like where it says death becomes her, or fruit becomes him. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that shit. Like, seriously, like, you gotta understand this right here. Think about it. No one in a right mind, I say in their right mind, goes around saying they're straight. I look on every type of broadcast and okay, I see everything and I'm paying attention to everything. Ha ha, ha, it's funny, it's funny, it's funny. But I'm thinking to myself now, like, I go on all the other social media apps, the ones you're not supposed to say anything about. And it's already been proven where it says straight, bisexual, transgender, and what you're looking for, male, both, or female. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what do y'all mean when y'all say like female or one man? Because it's a man involved in that word or male involved in female. That an adult girl should all I be hearing when I'm on this type of app. You see what I'm saying? Other than that, why is it I'm going through any apps and they're in imaginary land? Like, there's a guy in imaginary land thinking to himself, like, if he can get shorter over here, then he'd actually be kicking it with her and whatever else. Okay, shorter over here. Now, what you gonna do? You gonna bust her down? You know what I mean? And the terminology of that, you wouldn't know what you know. You know exactly what you do when you bust a lady down, and when you bust a adult girl down. But we talking about something totally different. You out here with a boo pop. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? Like somebody that's an actual daddy. Because there's no 16, 17-year olds that's walking around as, having a transformation of their whole body parts, like anything. And then I want to assert myself, somebody that has a mental health disorder but can't handle their own money. Observe anybody in any part of that situation who's a transgender, who has sexual deviancy, and at times dresses up. That in any given situation, DSM 1 through 3 states, and you can research that right there. You can be able to research it. Anybody research it. I mean, I give you the right to research it because I didn't put a block on it. Somebody else did, but I take the block off for it because when they put the block on the DSM 1 through 3, you know what it did? People who associate themselves with con men. It's just like somebody who's saying they straight and they're either bisexual or they're gay. They have a different sexual preference. That they state things that are not true, but other people believe them, and it's not like one or two people. It's more than a crowd that believes them. And with that being stated, if you're dealing with anybody and they're not your family, and I put this right here because family can be anybody that comes in your household and you accept them into your household. And guess what? We're gonna break it down. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty. I have a wife, but with a wife, and we're like married, or whatever you want to say. The children, they're adults, three, four generations, and within her family, to keep somebody out of my finances, what would I do? And then I leave that question for anybody else. What would you do to keep anybody out of your finances? That I'm in a whole different tax bracket. Federal payments, I get $50+ an hour. I solve cases back to back to back to back. Know what I mean? Um, Anybody and everybody would know that when I'm talking and I'm recording myself, I would want to hear myself talk until anybody that comes onto this station or comes past this broadcast listens to it. Pardon me and anything I did on this property. This is my property right here. Until it becomes where it's a barrier at, and on city or state information, and I would say state information, that it would be underlined where property starts and stops for somebody who actually has ownership through finances and constantly paying. Anybody else that does anything other than show paperwork, and it's like real paperwork, like I can take this to a lawyer and then from a lawyer take it to a judge and everything official, and then take it from the judge to the United States White House, where they can actually resolve an issue that's bigger than somebody being remanded and taken off of the property. Okay, there's Russian ships over here. Russian ships over here. There's Russian ships over there. Now, these ships over here, they're supposed to be fixed. They say Pearl Harbor. Okay, they used to have lined up right here where it used to be basically be like slave ships. And they got a cannon on them. And the cannon they let off into the excuse me, I don't have to edit that out of there. But them understanding it, it would draw a blank, then they would understand that, you know what, I have an opinion about what was said. But I was here and I saw it firsthand. Firsthand was me being there. That I'm able to state fact and take a lie detector test while in court. That they let a cannon off into a couple of the ships, and they call it the Russian collision, not collusion, Russian collision, where something that collided into Russian ships, and they call it Pearl Harbor. It's not Pearl Harbor. When you got to understand, there's no area named Pearl around here in this area. This is the Waterside District, downtown Waterside District, owned by me, rented out by Guy Ferrari, and then with ownership and claiming ownership, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Excuse me, I had to put that in there. You know what I mean? Excuse me, I'm losing myself. But Donald Trump. And with that being stated, he actually claims ownership and joint venture into the Dollar Generals, and had to speak to somebody because they said they didn't have change for my $10. I had people going around, and not my people, but I had people amongst me going around spending Wish app money, Wish.com. And now that I had to put a clearance on it, but it's not my application, but it was used in the Dunbar, the Brinks, and any other type of financial personnel that incorporates a truck that's bulletproof, bomb-proof, etc., that they're able to pick money up from an establishment safely and take it to a bank where it can be deposited. That they would actually pick the money up, then have to return it because the money was not real. It's actually money used for when people make they make where it's somebody that does a fake run. It's a fake run, but it's training, which means that in reality, it's still being done. So anyone who has any thought of doing anything at that given moment when you're in that training, it would have been asserted somehow in that situation. And if it hasn't, we're in 2019, and this was where the money was predominantly used. And the applications, and me being a quartermaster general, registry 1917-6. I got a gray hair somewhere over here. You know what I mean? But I don't. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? Like other than that, like DEA still with the registry number 1917-6, which is with the FBI, DEA, and it's like drug enforcement. Um, Safety security services for Russia. I'm domiciled here, which states that I claim to be here for a long period of time, and it's been a long period of time, and I'm ready to just cash out certain aspects of what I own and go back home for a long period of time because I have children that are adults there. I would think if I get Medicare and Medicaid and I still pay for those. And then on my background, it states that me being in detective work and stuff like that right there, that having a mental health disorder. No, wrong, totally wrong. When there's somebody understanding DSM 1 through 3, and then after going into the facility where there should be confidentiality, that confidentiality is constantly being broken, where someone pulls you to the side and talks about your business amongst other people being around that can still hear you, that go out into the public. Now, with anyone in a background check, and they look on a background check, what would you see? DEA, spacecraft, all that stuff right there, and all my credentials, which were once used by somebody named Don Roberts. And I did a background check on him, and I had to take my credentials back because I was just looking over it. This guy was stealing identity and stuff like that, just like it's a lot of other people. Like when I walk out of the cell and they still have it on footage because guess what? They can't do a factory reset on any type of footage that belongs to a city county jail where I had to walk out and they grabbed me by my neck and I was released and they walked me right back into the cell. 4 months I did, and that's basically like maximum security penitentiary or something where doing 4 months, not even going outside. I don't go outside. Now with me not going outside at 4 months, that's against the law. Know what I mean? And I'm not even going to the aspects of that because I would be carrying my conversation into a different category where I'm asserting myself on the sexuality of people, and then with me having ownership and my residence where I preside at, because I don't preside here because I don't have an apartment here. I don't have any type of place where I go in after unlocking the door and going in, locking the door and sitting down and wherever I'm at, studio, apartment, or any type of house or condo that looks like an apartment, that I don't go into one and I actually basically camp out until my departure in late November and hiring a private detective so that someone can actually get the DNA from the ancestry.com correct, because people over here have actually associated themselves with my family illegally and had them here from places in other countries, from Africa all the way back to Japan and Australia. And so now I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what? Once I get home, I'm not ever coming back, but I still got to come back because I got businesses here. And then with anyone who actually associates themselves with somebody else's business, what would that be called? That would be called being nosy. That would be called infiltrating. That would be called espionage. And then when I claim ownership, this would be trespassing. It is trespassing. but it's somebody that's showing that they're tough. But um, I beg to differ because at any given instance, when I assert myself, the police patrol cars pull up, cops are outside in front of me, and they're telling me I have to leave an area, which I don't. But a cop is not supposed to be one person in a patrol car, two people or more in a patrol car, because one would actually need backup, and if it's one pulling up, there's no negotiation, there's no conversation that I would have for that officer. Even when doing security, that there should not be a cop, a officer in a facility and not have a patrol car outside of that facility, knowing that if they have to remand somebody and then once remanding them, take their information and run their information through them asking for it and asserting themselves, that when they remand them, they have to detain that person. None of that can be done if they have to call somebody else up, which means that they are now in uniform and they are breaking protocol and under ordinances that you cannot do certain things while in a uniform, nor can you wear a uniform. And this is an example, and this is the military. And I'm just going to give you the military because this is the overall aspect of the uniform being worn. Somebody that's dishonorably discharged cannot wear a uniform while in civilian areas, nor anywhere else on any government areas. They cannot wear it. They can only wear it to a certain extent where it shows that they were in a courtroom and there was corporal punishment and they were discharged dishonorably or mentally. Other than that, they cannot wear a uniform. And that's the example. And then I'm going to have to go because I want to go and I want to end this broadcast because I want to go home. I want to see my daughters. I want to see my sons and have them travel over there to me. And I want to be with my family, my biological family, because when people start talking about we are your family, I am not your family. Just because we were in the military together, I am not your family. Guess what? I contradict myself, but then that doesn't make me an individual anymore because I contradicted myself. Other than that, right there, me associating myself with anybody over here that lies about their sexuality or lies about their preference, their job, their organizations that they're in, the organized that they, I presume, quote, that they own and have no ownership over it. Hey, I feel sorry for anybody who's doing anything in that nature and anything of that. I want to say validity, and that's like an immense amount or a certain I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but in any type of category under what I just explained, that I feel sorry when we got to go to federal court and I'm seeking some type of reparations for being over here for 146 years, Medicaid, Medicare, colonoscopy to prove it, and then I'm not seeing anything where like Niagara Falls, where the water turns like this right here to conduct energy. That I'm not seeing any of that here, any of that here in the state of Virginia, and I'm still trying to figure out that in a certain place where I know is that something that belongs to me that they haven't made a prototype for, and being a part of NASA program that where's the prototype? Hello? I said I was gonna put a clearance on it. Now what's on the money when people go on the wish.com? There's Chinese writing, there's King Cooper and all this other stuff because it's not me recuperating. It's me actually being diligent upon asserting myself and making sure that I can actually presume any and everything that I had rightfully as mine in the same way that I would if I had ever went into battle in the 1970s or 80s, which was the basic last war, which I would assume would be another war if any incident occurred again, like Pearl Harbor, and they sent this ship, the 51, which is a Russian ship, back that way and out to sea. And once getting back over there, and they pick it up and look at it quick, fast. It takes about a week. They send it right back because the water and the paint job, the paint is running. This is reality. Pearl Harbor, and then the disrespect of this right here. Or somebody that's over in another country, which is with Donald Trump, who has to help this person out that is not his child. And now he has to tag along with this person because he wipes his tail with someone else's flag. Someone else's home flag, their country flag, their nation's flag. He wipes his tail with it. He wipes his buttocks, his rectum. And then he's jailed and then he's deported. Quartermaster General here, a general in other aspects of the military, and in Japan, a 2-star general, and that's in the infantry. Y'all have a good day. And if you need to know my name, it's pronounced Dontae, Dontae, as in Taekwondo, the Thai part, Dontae. Skyler, Skyler. That's my middle name. Barnes, Barnes. And out of many of the establishments and any of the organizations and property and land that I own, it's supposed to be DSB, Don Skyler Barnes, like Noose Bond, or DLB, which is basically named after my son. You see what I'm saying? Named after my son. And with this guy being my son, I named it after him because he helped me in being here and solidifying myself along with somebody who I don't even want to mention because of the work that he does. Same work I do, but he does work totally different and is a lot more dangerous in the state that he stays in. And I want to give a rest in peace to him. Sticky fingers. I want to give rest in peace to you, bro. Now I mean that's my twin. I want to give rest in peace to you, man. He lost his life here in Virginia, and they covering that shit up, man. Now I mean, and I'm sitting right here, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm gonna continue to do that until I leave. Where me going back and forth wherever I have to be at, and if at any given time anyone disrespected me, asserting myself to the point where I can either reprimand them and take them in under detaining them because of being an actual state trooper, and then all on my information and stuff like that. When you look on your ID card, there's nothing up there that would state those things. You see what I'm saying? Where having a purple, like it's like a black light that would actually associate myself with being there. I had a state trooper car which they put on military highway after me leaving for deployment, that they basically called themselves confiscating. And they ransacked, took everything out, and made protocols of what would be equipment device blockers that would be able to pick up transmission so that while I'm out and about, I can be able to use my phone and not have any problem with somebody cutting my phone call while I'm in another area and it's an unknown territory to me. Y'all have a good day, man. I'll finish the rest of this some other time. Peace out.